Eggs are one of the most complete and nutritious foods available for seniors. But the way you cook them can change them from a heart-healthy superfood into a source of harmful inflammation. The deadliest way to cook an egg is by frying it at extremely high temperatures until the edges are brown, crispy and burnt. We are going to cover exactly why this happens and 7 better, safer ways to prepare your eggs to protect your heart and arteries. Stop crisping the edges. The high heat trap. The most important change you must make after age 60 is to stop frying eggs until the whites turn brown and crispy. Many people love the texture of a crispy fried egg, but that browning is a visual sign of a chemical reaction that can be harmful to older adults. When you cook an egg at very high heat in a frying pan, you trigger a process called oxidation. Specifically, you oxidize the cholesterol found in the egg yolk. Regular cholesterol is generally safe for most people, but oxidized cholesterol is different. Oxidized cholesterol is known as an oxysterol. When cholesterol is damaged by high heat, it becomes sticky and more likely to attach to the walls of your arteries. This contributes to plaque buildup and inflammation in the cardiovascular system. Furthermore, the browning of the egg white creates compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds are pro-inflammatory. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing and eliminating these compounds. Accumulation of AGEs is linked to stiffening of the tissues and increased oxidative stress. To avoid this, you simply need to turn down the heat. An egg should be white and yellow, not brown. If you see brown, lacy edges on the egg white, the temperature was too high. By keeping the egg white pure white, you ensure the protein remains healthy and easy to digest. You also prevent the cholesterol in the yolk from changing its chemical structure. This is simple to do. It requires no new equipment, just a lower setting on your stove dial. It protects your arteries from unnecessary damage. Most older adults can make this adjustment instantly. It is a visual check. If it's brown, turn the heat down. Here is another simple habit that solves the texture issue. Switch to the steam fry method. If you enjoy sunny-side-up eggs but want to avoid the dangers of high-heat frying and oxidized oil, the steam fry method is the perfect solution. This technique allows you to cook the egg completely without flipping it and without burning the bottom. To do this, place your non-stick pan on medium-low heat. Add a very small amount of oil or butter. Crack the egg gently into the pan. Let the white set for just a moment, perhaps 30 seconds. Then add 1 tablespoon of water to the pan, not directly on the egg, but to the side of it. Immediately place a tight-fitting lid on the pan. The water will instantly turn into steam. Because the lid traps the steam, the heat surrounds the egg. It cooks the top of the yolk and the white gently, while the bottom cooks slowly on the pan. This method keeps the temperature regulated. Water turns to steam at 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This is much lower than the temperature of frying oil, which can reach over 190 degrees Celsius, 375 degrees Fahrenheit. By capping the temperature with steam, you prevent the formation of those harmful inflammatory compounds. The egg cooks quickly and evenly. The result is a tender egg with a fully cooked white and a warm, runny yolk. There are no crispy, burnt edges, which means there is no oxidized protein. This method also keeps the egg moist. Dry, rubbery eggs are harder to chew and digest. The steam ensures the texture remains soft and palatable. You can do this at home with any pan that has a lid. It is a very gentle way to cook. This helps the body digest the protein more easily. Soft, hydrated proteins are broken down more efficiently by stomach acid than hard, fried proteins. It works well for most older adults. It reduces the need for large amounts of cooking fat, which also helps manage calorie intake. This simple adjustment transforms a fried egg into a steamed egg, which is far superior for senior health. Another gentle adjustment helps with nutrient preservation. Master the gentle poach. Poaching is often considered the gold standard for healthy egg cooking. It involves cooking the egg directly in simmering water. Because there is no direct contact with a hot metal pan and no added fats, the egg remains chemically unaltered. The temperature of simmering water is relatively low compared to frying. This low temperature preserves the delicate nutrients in the yolk. Eggs are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that are critical for eye health in seniors. These nutrients are sensitive to heat. When you poach an egg, you protect these antioxidants. You ensure that you are getting the full vitamin benefit of the food. Many people are intimidated by poaching, but it is actually quite simple. Fill a saucepan with about 3 inches of water and bring it to a gentle simmer. You want small bubbles, not a rolling boil. Add a splash of vinegar to the water. The acid in the vinegar helps the egg white hold its shape so it doesn't spread out into a mess. Crack your egg into a small cup first. Then lower the cup close to the water and gently slide the egg in. Let it cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Remove it with a slotted spoon. You now have a perfectly cooked egg with 0 oxidized cholesterol and 0 added fats. This is easy on the stomach. Poached eggs are often recommended for people recovering from illness because they are so digestible. This fits into any routine. It takes less than 5 minutes from start to finish. If you find the traditional method too difficult, you can buy simple poaching cups that float on top of the water. These make the process foolproof. This keeps the body balanced. You are adding pure protein without the heavy, greasy feeling of a fried breakfast. One more easy morning change relates to how you scramble: the low and slow scramble. Scrambled eggs are a breakfast staple, but many seniors cook them incorrectly. The mistake is using high heat and cooking them too fast. This results in a rubbery, dry texture and again risks oxidizing the cholesterol. The healthiest scramble is the low and slow method. Place your pan on low heat. Pour in your beaten eggs. Do not walk away. Use a spatula to gently push the eggs around the pan constantly. You are looking for soft, creamy curds to form. By keeping the eggs in motion and the heat low, you prevent the proteins from tightening up too much. When egg proteins tighten rapidly due to high heat, they squeeze out the water, making the egg tough. Tough eggs are difficult for older digestive systems to break down. A soft, creamy scramble is much gentler on the gut. Furthermore, taking the eggs off the heat before they look fully finished is a professional secret. Eggs continue to cook even after you put them on the plate because they hold heat. If you cook them until they look dry in the pan, they will be overcooked by the time you sit down to eat. Remove them while they still look slightly wet. This method ensures you are not eating oxidized fats. It keeps the nutrients intact. This is simple to do. It just requires a little patience. The difference in taste and texture is remarkable. You can do this at home every day. It turns a basic meal into something that feels luxurious but is actually healthier. Most older adults can try this safely. It requires less chewing force, which is helpful for those with dental issues. This supports nutrient absorption. The bioavailability of egg protein is higher when it is cooked gently rather than burned. Here is another simple habit regarding the yolk. Choose soft-boiled. Over hard-boiled boiled eggs are convenient, but there is a big difference between a soft-boiled egg and a hard-boiled one. You have likely seen a hard-boiled egg with a green or grey ring around the yolk. That grey ring is ferrous sulfide. It is a chemical reaction between the iron in the yolk and the sulfur in the white. It happens when an egg is overcooked. While this is not toxic, it indicates that the proteins have been denatured and the sulfur has been released. It also creates that distinct sulfur smell that many people dislike. Overcooked hard-boiled eggs can be chalky and difficult to swallow. For seniors, dry foods can pose a choking hazard or simply be unpleasant to eat. A soft-boiled egg, where the white is set but the yolk is still jammy or slightly runny, is superior. It has not reached the temperature required to create that sulfur reaction. To get a perfect soft-boiled egg, lower your egg into boiling water and cook it for exactly 6.5 to 7 minutes. Then, immediately transfer it to a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking. This stops the grey ring from forming. It preserves the texture and the flavour. More importantly, a softer yolk retains more heat-sensitive vitamins. You are getting more nutrition from the same amount of food. This helps the body function more easily. The nutrients are more available for your system to use. This is easy on the digestion. The softer texture is processed quickly by the stomach. Another gentle adjustment helps with the cooking medium. Swap butter for stable fats. If you do choose to use a pan for cooking eggs, the fat you use is critical. Many seniors use butter out of habit. However, butter has a low smoke point. This means it burns easily. When butter burns in the pan, it oxidizes. It creates free radicals, which are unstable atoms that damage cells and contribute to aging and disease. Using burnt butter to cook your eggs adds a layer of inflammatory fats to your healthy meal. Instead, choose a fat that is stable at higher temperatures. Avocado oil is an excellent choice. It has a very high smoke point, meaning it does not break down or oxidize until it reaches very high temperatures, much higher than you need for eggs. Ghee, or clarified butter, is another good option. The milk solids in butter are what burn. In ghee, those solids have been removed, leaving pure fat that is much more heat-stable. If you prefer olive oil, use it only with low-heat cooking methods. Extra virgin olive oil is incredibly healthy, but it is delicate. It should not be used for high-heat searing. Using the right oil ensures that you are not inadvertently adding toxins to your breakfast. It keeps the meal clean. This works well for most older adults. It is a simple swap in the pantry. Also, try to use a non-stick pan so you can use less fat overall. A good ceramic or non-stick skillet allows you to cook an egg with just a tiny drop of oil or even just a quick spray. Reducing the total amount of fat reduces the calorie load, which helps with weight management. This fits into any routine. It is a small decision with a big impact on heart health. One more easy change involves what you eat with the egg. Add a fiber buffer to your plate. This final tip is not about how you apply heat, but how you balance the meal. Eggs contain cholesterol. For most people, dietary cholesterol has a minimal impact on blood cholesterol. However, some seniors are hyper-responders, meaning their bodies are more sensitive to dietary cholesterol. To mitigate this potential risk completely, you should always eat your eggs with a fiber buffer. Fiber acts like a sponge in the digestive system. It binds to excess cholesterol and prevents it from being absorbed into the bloodstream. Instead, the cholesterol is carried out of the body as waste. When you cook your eggs, add a handful of spinach to the pan, or eat them with a side of oatmeal or a slice of whole grain toast. Slice up a tomato or half an avocado. By pairing the egg with fiber, you change how your body processes the meal. You slow down digestion and stabilize blood sugar. This prevents the deadliest outcome of cholesterol spikes. It turns the meal into a balanced, heart-protective event. Don't eat eggs alone. Alone, they are just protein and fat. With fiber, they are a complete nutritional package. This is simple to do. It just requires adding a vegetable or a grain to the plate. Most older adults can do this comfortably. It adds volume to the meal, making you feel fuller for longer. This keeps the body balanced. It ensures your arteries stay clear. These 7 habits transform the humble egg. You do not need to fear eggs. They are packed with choline for the brain and protein for the muscles. You simply need to respect the chemistry of cooking. By lowering the heat, using water and steam, and choosing the right partners for your eggs, you unlock their benefits safely. Start with one change. Maybe tomorrow, try the steam fry method, or check your oil bottle and switch to avocado oil. Small changes in the kitchen accumulate into significant protection for your health over time. If you know someone over 60 who eats eggs every day, share this video with them. and subscribe for more simple health tips.